Good morning, everyone. Wow. My apologies. Technical difficulties. Like nothing wanted to set up today properly. The camera's not really set up properly because it's cutting my head off. Bear with me here a little. Make sure that a little better there. Good morning. Welcome to episode 98 of Coffee and Darts. I'm your host, Matthew. Let's see. How's this all go again? I kind of forget. It's been a week and technical difficulties and no coffee always throw me off. But good morning, everybody. Give me a awesome ton 80 if you guys are ready to go. Good morning, Larry. I'm excited to talk darts. We got World Matchplay. We got a match today that is incredible. And hopefully you guys can still see me because my computer's doing all kinds of crazy stuff right now. There we go. Good morning. Hey, Jason Watt, brother, I hope you're good, man. I've seen some of the stuff that you've been posting on social media, and I know this is a safe spot because we all know you here. We are praying for you, and I hope things are good, man. Reach out if you want to talk. I'm always here to chat. You know, if it's stuff like what we do here, I can certainly talk to you, but if it's just personal stuff, I'm there for you. I'm an ear, I'm a shoulder, man. So just know. And that's one of the beautiful things about this and our community is we may live in other states, we may live in other countries, but we're still here for each other. So good morning, everybody. Good morning, Larry. Good morning, Devin. Good morning, Scott. DPFL, Dart Players of Florida. Good morning, guys. So let's get this show underway because we got lots to talk about with World Matchplay. There's not a whole lot else going on just yet. We do have some stuff with Champ Darts coming in. I know Darts Players Florida's got their stuff happening. I think Darts Players New York is about to start getting some things underway. Jason Watt's got his stuff going on. And then you'll see some stuff from USA Darts here soon as well. And then I know like Hambone Darts, and it's just such a load of things that are out there to watch, and it's really great. I think yesterday may have been, was it yesterday? Outside of PDC, I don't think there was any other streams that I remember being on yesterday. That was kind of like a new thing. But good morning, Will Stewart. So yeah, Will Stewart, who does USA Darts, says he'll be at St. Louis, the ADA. But hey, I want to thank my sponsors, of course, Shot Darts, and I've got some of their new product right here that I'm not supposed to show you guys, but I'm going to show it to you anyway. I'll probably get in trouble for that, but it's all right. At least releases in 2 days. There's a lot more than what I'm going to show you guys. A lot of cool stuff coming from Shot. Shot Darts, of course, makes artwork that we get to throw. And this stuff, new stuff, is incredible as well. Want to thank Jen Mounts and Magic Wear for the incredible jerseys. These things are awesome. Little coffee beans in this cool jersey. I don't know if you guys seen this thing. It's got this little sun thing down here, and I really like this jersey. I like the look of it, the feel of it. This was Jen, first round. I gave her like 2 words, what I wanted, and blam, here she is. Good morning, Anthony. Hopefully you're doing well, my friend. Good morning, Dave. Yes. Dave brought up that Niels Zonneveld signed with Shot. Yes, he did. And I got the barrel to show you guys. So I'm going to give you guys a quick look at some of these. And that barrel's off the charts. You're not going to get as nice a close-up look. You'll have to wait for the reviews, which are being done this week. Thanks, DPFL. I do love the jersey as well. Also, those are really my only sponsors now. Like, I love my Condor Flights and Shafts, but we lost them as a sponsor. Really sad about that. But I do love these Easy Flights by L Style. These, again, are part of the new Shot lineup. I am pumping Shot today. I'm just really excited about their new stuff. Coffee. Yes, Devin Hunter, if you guys will hold on 1 second, because I want to get into talking darts, guys. I really am excited about it. I'm just really love the PDC stuff that's back, and there's some cool action. One of my favorite darts players has been bumped round 1. And then we got a round 2 matchup today that we have to talk about because it is on fire. And then I think if Michael Smith wins his round 2 match, we could see him in the finals because I think one of these 2 guys is going to be there. We'll talk a little bit about that. But first, I'm going to get some coffee. Hold on 1 second. Oh, coffee. All right. Okay, guys, now we can talk darts because I got some coffee. I don't have a spoon to stir this with. Here, let me just use a dart. Oh, what is that? That's the new shot case. Have you ever, like, gone to stick your darts in your shirt and you, like, poke yourself? Especially if you're using steel tip, which, by the way, this little case has a magnet in there, which kind of helps hold your darts in place, which is really kind of cool. But that way you don't poke yourself, like, you know, I have done. But I can use this to go ahead and stir. Stir. No, I'm not putting that back in there. But I think this case is really cool. I know, guys, I'm all over the place today. I went camping this past weekend. I'm feeling really good, excited about today, and again, excited about darts. Let's get into it. Brewing my Keurig cup as we speak. Anthony, you are the man. Yes, Bullseye Zabrowski's shot lineup is to die for. It really is beautiful. It's awesome. That is so good. Wow, that really is a nice cup of coffee. I'm excited. All righty, let's see here. Let's talk a little bit about this. Bring up my notes here. So, as I mentioned, one of my favorite players got bumped round one, which I was really surprised about, to be very honest. I really didn't see it coming, and that, of course, was James Wade. Wadey, who in, I think, 14 attempts, and I could be wrong on this because I'm just going off of partial memory and partial what I've read. Like, he's made 11. He made it in semifinals 11 times out of 14 attempts at this, or 14 tries. He's won it. But, I mean, like, it's an incredible record. That's the thing about James Wade. And I know people don't really talk about him much, but when you look at the accolades that darts player has had over his career, and he's only 36, it's an incredible accolade of just being a top dartsman. It's kind of cool, top dartsman, for his entire career. He has just stayed there and been in play. He hasn't dropped down a little and come back. I mean, we see that with certain darts players, but he has just been solid throughout his career. And he's ranked number 4 right now. He's doing well. He just, I don't know, he hiccuped. I don't know what to say, but Luke Humphreys, who looked really good, and Humphreys was, he was playing with the 9-darter, at least twice that I can think of. He had 6 in the bed, 6 perfect darts. So he was firing on all cylinders. James Wade was just not. But I was surprised. I figured Wade would have blown past Luke Humphreys. But as a debutant, there you go. And James just is out. And I'm saddened by that. I didn't think he was going to win the tournament, but he's always my dark horse. He's my dark horse in every tournament because he has the ability to just finish these incredible 3-dart finishes. I mean, and we're talking triple-digit finishes on a consistency, which in his doubling is normally phenomenal. So I was surprised on that. Let's see. Krzysztof Rutowski, Brendan Dolan, wasn't surprised on that one. That was a 10-4. Krzysztof Rutowski, he is now my dark horse in this tournament. But he is just, again, an incredible, not talked about darts player who puts in great numbers when he needs to and just throws incredibly well. Callan Rids over Glenn Durant, I'm not surprised by that at all. Glenn has been struggling. And here's where I think, and everybody's talking Glenn Durant, what's wrong with him? Here's what I think happened, and I think it's the Rob Cross syndrome, naming it that. Glenn came into the PDC coming from the BDO where he was the big fish. Let's just be honest. He was the man, 3 world titles there, and just an incredible guy in that pool. Came to the PDC and had some good success, some serious success, but played a lot more than he was used to. He was in the Premier League, which of course he won. And he just was a crushing player at the Aki. It was just amazing to watch him come in and just have such great success. But I think all of that play and all of that success just wore on him. And it's not that he's not going to get it back. He just needs to kind of breathe again. And of course, he did have COVID, which I know would have affected him. Even if it didn't physically affect him at this point, with all the BS and junk and word and talk and everything that's out there in regards to COVID and just the fact that mentally everybody's telling you if you have COVID, you're dead kind of mentality. It's this, the reality is I think a lot of that plays on his psyche, and that's affecting his darts. And I say that with, some assurances that if you continue to hear that this stuff is messing with you, whether it's that or just because you ate a piece of chalk when you were a kid, that's going to be an issue for you. If you keep hearing it, that's going to weigh on your mental abilities. You're going to start to believe it. And so that's going to affect especially a darts player where there's a lot of mentality in the game. You have to keep your mental edge. Glenn does not have it right now. He thinks he's not playing well. He thinks he's a bad dartsman. He thinks that this stuff has affected him, and he needs to get that straight. I think he does that over this year, and that next year we see a much better Glenn Durrant. Speaking of the Rob Cross syndrome, Rob Cross, he is playing well. Played well against Ross Smith. Ross Smith looked good at first. The first 3 games, Ross Smith was really just looked solid, and he did give Rob a little bit of fits here and there, but Rob played well. Kind of didn't play well, and then came back and did what he needed to do to close it out. But I think Rob, this is a tournament he likes. He likes Blackpool. I think he does well here. I really think that this is going to be a good tournament for Rob. Do I think he wins it? I don't. I don't see him quarterfinals. Might be the end for him. But we'll see who he comes up against and who he plays and how he plays. But he seems to be getting his edge back, and I think he's allowed the mental aspect of, hey, I won the world championship. I was supposed to be the man. That went away from him. He's had some success at this tournament and a couple other tournaments, but I think he's finally in his groove. It took him a couple years. He was, 4 years ago he was world champion, 5 years ago he was world champion. So, I think he's in a groove. He's still a young man. I can't believe I just said that. So I think Rob's going to do well, and I think he's going to have a good, successful year, and he'll win some tournaments. I don't think this one. Let's talk a little bit also. We can do the Joe Cullen, Chris Dobie. That was kind of a, Chris is a good player. Joe, when he's on and he's just throwing the darts like he's enjoying himself, you're not going to beat him. The Michael Smith, Ryan Searle, that was a great match. I think Michael, and this is my dark, I don't want to say dark horse. This is my Michael Smith versus Jose de Sosa, which is a round 2 match. That's going to determine, I think, one of those 2 players based on that match. Semifinals, finals. Kind of depends on who they come up against and how some of the other players play out, and if there's any upsets outside of James Wade. But I think, we have Michael Smith playing Jose de Sosa. Michael Smith, of course, beating Ryan Searle. Jose de Sosa crushing Gabriel Clemens. Which was a kind of a little bit of a surprise. I thought Gabriel would play a little better, but that was just a beat down. And Jose de Sosa has just been playing. Let me do that right. Jose de Sosa has been just on fire for the last 12, 13 months. That's going to be a big one. If Michael Smith can show up to that and beat him, I think that's the confidence boost he needs to really go to the finals again in this tournament and potentially win it. Peter Wright, Danny Norpert. Danny's fun. I like him. When he's playing well, he does well. Is he a major championship winner type consistent player? Not yet. He's going to play well consistently. He's going to be top, 26 player consistently, but not going to be someone we see too deep into these major type tournaments until he, it kicks in for him, which it will. I think he's got it. And again, he's got time, but Peter Wright just looked like like he wanted it. He was ready to play that one. He just came out on fire and just looked good. I think, and this is just my thing, because if you remember, he lost all of last year. He lost the ability to come in front of the crowds as the world champion. And I think there's a little nudge there. And with the crowds back, he's like, wait a second, I'm world champion. Yeah, maybe there's this guy, the Iceman, who's world champion right now, but like I should still be getting the accolades in the crowds. And so I think that's a big pump. And of course, the crowds always love to get behind him. Speaking of the Iceman, don't notice if you guys knew, but he got booed, which I don't know if that's a cheer for him now, or, really, is it really a boo for him? But what do you guys think? Tell me in the comments. Do you think that, it feeds him? Gerwin Price has got to feed off the boo, but yes, Dave, Peter Wright does have the new gold-coated darts. You saw him play with them. You probably won't see them again. Maybe in 4 or 5 tournaments, you might see them out again. My guess with those, because they're dropping those, Red Dragon's dropping those darts, we're seeing him play with them just for that purpose. This is a marketing money grab. But I'm pretty sure we'll see those disappear and something else will come out. Come on. Yes, Dave. Yeah, just like RVB, that in regards to Durant, it's a different thing. And again, Dave, Dave, I love it, man. You're in the conversation. Danny did say on Dutch TV, which I don't watch a lot of Dutch TV because I don't get Dutch TV here, that he was nervous on the big stage. And again, these guys are coming back and playing in front of a full capacity crowd. This is a new thing. We're seeing this in a lot of different sports. The Tour de France happened, and you're not going to keep the crowds away in regards to that. F1 this past weekend, where Mercedes pretty much stole that from Red Bull. Sorry, going to say it. But they had full capacity crowd, 140,000 people. So it's great to see the crowds back, especially in darts, especially at Blackpool. Johnny isn't playing with his new ones until today. There is a good chance you'll see them today, because that is going to be an incredible match, because we do have Johnny the Ferret going up against the Iceman himself. That is the match of the day. That is, to me, the match of the tournament, at least so far, until we get to the finals. These two Welshmen have been killing it. Literally, they've just been going to town in regards to their darts ability. Johnny, I'm just excited to see this. This is going to be, there's a couple ways this will go, and it's like all sports, of course. We're into the second round today, and we will be seeing that match. I think it's third up on the list for today. Could have been a last. This is going to be an incredible match between the two of them. It's either going to be a real tight match with them. They know each other really well. They're going to be throwing punches at each other. Either that, or one of them is going to come in, and because it's their countryman, their friend, someone that they've played a lot with, they're not going to have the nerve, the steel, that ability. It's kind of that, hey, I'll step in you and crush your neck because you're in my way type of situation. And I think the person that blinks could be Johnny in regards to that. And why I say that is, for Johnny, the idea of darts being a full-time thing really wasn't a thing until last year. For Gerwin Price, that's his deal, Darts has been his deal. His goal and his push has been to become number one, which, by the way, he is number one in the world. To become world champion, which, by the way, he is world champion. Boo him all you like. He still is number one and world champ. And I like him. I'm a fan, but I'm a fan of Johnny's as well. Just because I love the attitude of, hey, you know what? I love my darts, but I can throw some mud as well, man. I'm seriously, he's the type of guy that could just, do some drywall work, throw some mud, and then walk on stage and be like, all right, let's play darts, and just be covered And I don't know, the Ferret may not have been the best nickname for him. They might need to change that. But I'm excited to watch that one. That's going to be an incredible amount of fun to watch, or it's going to be a dud. Either way, it's going to it's going to be one or the other. Yes, I liked the Mr. Freeze with Norbert. I think that's a good name for him and a good place to go. So, other matchups that took place, we saw Gary Anderson, Stephen Bunting. Bunting unfortunately showed his ways of late. I guess not of late because he had a win there, but he kind of just reverted back. And Gary Anderson, who's back, seems to be in much better shape. He's had some time to rest. He's had some mental time to rest. I think he was kind of losing it there for a bit. He came out and played a good game, but when you look at the two of them playing each other, Steven's not going to do anything to get into Gary's head like other players. Gary is very much the type of player that you can get in his head and kind of throw him off a little. Sometimes that makes him a better player. Sometimes he feeds off that, but in the majority of the time, he really doesn't. So we've got that. What was one of the other good rounds? That was the Devin Peterson. Who did Devin play again? Why am I blanking on that? That's horrible. Let me see if I can pull it up here again real quick because I'm Dimitri Vandenberg, who won last year. So that was a good match. I really think Devin didn't come out with a I'm gonna crush you spirit, which he really could have on Dimitri. I think Dimitri does well in his second round. I don't know that Dimitri's not going to win this again this year. That's just my feel. He's going to go deep into the tournament just because he's a consistent player. But I really think Devin could have and should have won that. Just my thoughts. Back to some of those first rounds. The Dave Chisnell, Vincent Vandervoort. That was a good match. And Dave, I think Dave's going to do. Why is my computer like doing stuff? It's so annoying. Dave's going to do well in his second round matchup, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that one. I'm still on the fence there, but he did well. He played well. I like Chisnell. He's a good darts player. He's like his voice, his squeaky voice. I always love that. But yeah. Dirk van Dijvenbode, who lost to Johnny Clayton in round one, played again. This is a guy who came out last year, who's been playing darts, but came out last year and really showed himself. And I think this is going to be another good year for him. And going forward, it's a name to remember because we're going to see it quite often. Gerwin Watermeaner was the alternate there. Came in, of course, played against Gerwin Price, who he wants to win this thing. He wants to prove and solidify his number one spot in his world championship. And this is definitely a tournament to do that in and at Blackpool. So let me pull up some round two matchups that we have going on, of course, today. Van Gerwen did what we all expected him to win. So, but he's going up against Ian White, who took out Gerald Gurney, which Ian, I'm surprised in some regards because he does well he doesn't typically do well in regards to these big tournaments. But he was able to hold off Gerald Gurney. And I do want to touch a little bit more on the Gerwin Price, Johnny Clayton in just a second. But we'll go through some of this real here. Nathan Aspinall, Mervyn King. Wasn't totally surprised. The Asp is just a good darts player. He's definitely one that, if he keeps his game on, we all know that he can win a major tournament. That's nothing there. The Michael Van Gerwen over at Damon Hedda, I wasn't surprised. I'll just say that. And then, of course, Gary Anderson, Stephen Bunting. Coming into today, let's talk about the matches for today and tomorrow. Today, we got Rob Cross against Callan Ridds. I think Rob Cross wins that. I think, this is as far as he goes in the tournament, but I think he wins this. He might go a little further, but that's my guess. Luke Humphreys, Krzysztof Rotowski. Krzysztof Rotowski takes that. Luke is a great. I keep saying that. Luke is good. He is a great darts player, but Krzysztof Rotowski is a better darts player. Bottom line, I think Krzysztof just plays his game as typical and will be killing it. Then we have the Gerwin Price, Johnny Clayton. Something to keep in mind with this tournament. This is like the first time both of these guys have gotten to the second round. They have been blown out, well, at least in the last couple of years. 3 years running, I believe both of them have lost first-round matches and been eliminated from this tournament. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure the last 3 years, both of them. So this is new territory, so to speak, for both of them. And this is going to be part of the punch out, drag out, fight mentality that's going to be there. Again, Johnny's just been playing lights out for a good year now. And just, I don't know, in my sense, he feels like I should win. Gerwin has something to prove here at this tournament. Again, there's the I'm number one in the world. I'm world champion. These are the tournaments I'm supposed to get to the finals in. And that's on his shoulder. He's got a lot to go with. We have the crowds back. He gets to play off of that. This is just an incredible match in my mindset. Then we have Dimitri Vandenberg against Dave Chisnell. I think Dimitri wins this. I don't think he goes any further, but I think he comes out and wins this. I don't think Dave is he's not playing at the capacity was for the World Championship. I think Dimitri takes that. And then Wednesday's round, we have Michael Smith, Jose de Sosa, which I think is the match of the day there. And again, whoever wins that one, we could see on Saturday. Gary Anderson, Nathan Aspinall, that's going to be a good matchup. Nothing overly exciting there in my mindset. I think it's just going to be a pretty solid matchup. They're pretty same style. Nathan's not going to do anything to get under Gary's skin necessarily. He's not going to hoop and holler and do too much. He's just going to come out and play just like Gary. And that may lend more towards Gary's ability and play. Then we have Michael Van Gerwen against Ian White. I know, but MVG hasn't won anything in a while. Ian White in the earlier rounds of most tournaments has some consistency. That I'm going to coin flip that one. And you guys I know are going to be, Michael Van Gerwen's going to totally win that. If Ian plays decent, he can take out MVG. It's just where MVG is right now. He's not number one quality play. It's just not there. It's not what we remember seeing. The killer instinct comes and goes. And then our last match is Peter Wright, Joe Cullen. That's going to be a fun match. I think Joe has so much respect for Peter Wright that's going to hinder him a little. Joe just has that nonchalant, hey, I'm here to play darts. What's up? Peter has something to say in front of the crowd. And again, I think he's definitely going to be like, guys, I'm here. I lost out on the accolades. I'm going to prove to you guys I'm here because I am the people's champion. I'm curious to see how he dresses for round two, but I'm excited to see that one. But I think Peter Wright takes that. So those are my predictions coming up. But I think today is I blocked out work so that I can watch that. I'm going to sit back. I'm going to eat my lunch because it'll be lunchtime for me. And I'm just going to be so into and excited to watch the Gerwin Price, Johnny Clayton matchup today. Again, some really good stuff. Devin Hunter needs a mat to pick board. We can go first round real quick. Let me pull this back from first round. I don't think I gave in everything on all of the first round. I might have. I picked Gary Anderson over Stephen Bunting, I'm pretty sure. MVG over Damon Heta. I think that was a coin flip. Nathan over Mervyn King. I picked Nathan for sure. Ian White, Daryl Gurney. I want to say that might have been a coin flip for me, but I'm not 100% sure where I was on that one. I probably have picked Gurney in regards to that. Let me come. I know I did not pick Humphreys. I picked Wade to take that, so I will bow down on that one. Kristoff over Brendan Dolan. I know I picked that. I picked Callan Ritz over Glenn Durant. I said if Glenn shows up, he could win that, but I didn't think so. The Rob Cross, I did pick Rob Cross, and I had a number of people say, hey, Ross Smith just won. He's going to do well. He did well, but I did pick Rob Cross. Rob loves Blackpool. This is a place where he does really well. I did not pick Luke Humphreys over James Wade for sure. Joe Cullen, Chris Dobie, I think was a coin flip for me. Michael Smith, Ryan Searle. I picked Ryan Searle on that one, I will say. And I did say, if Michael Smith comes playing who Michael Smith is, he will win that. He'll go deep into this tournament. He did take that out, but I really thought Ryan would have taken that. Peter Wright over Danny Norpert. I took Peter Wright for sure. And then the Jose de Sosa over Gabriel Clemens. Jose de Sosa, he's just, you can't not pick him right now. I mean, who throws 3 darts at the Trip 20 except for a soft tip player who's crushing it? I mean, you have to go with that one. So I think I may have been off on 3 or 4 of those. I think some of them were coin flips for me, but ones that I was dead set on. I know I missed out on the James Wade, Luke Humphreys in regards to that one. So, and then the Michael Smith, Ryan Searle, because I really thought Ryan was going to do that. I thought he was going to bring the heavy metal and crush Michael Smith. But I did give a caveat that if Michael comes playing the way he can play, I mean, we know he can go deep into a tournament. He can make finals here. We know that. But yeah, we should do a little board and see how crappy this American is at picking European darts. So, all right. Let's see, Super Chin. I feel a bet coming on here. Bullseyes and brewskis. Maybe some facial hair shaving with the Super Chin. Maybe we might have to do that. Who would have the most 180s, Michael Smith or Jose de Sosa? Well, again, over the last year, we have seen really 2 Michael Smiths. We've seen one that will play well and then just drop off, or we'll see one that just drops off. We haven't seen a lot of consistency out of him. When he's on, the 180s are happening. It's scary how well he can do with that. I just don't know where he's at yet. I need a couple more tournaments this year to see where he's at mentally, which is his big hiccup. Jose de Sosa, I love saying that, okay? I don't know. It rolls off well. But de Sosa really has just been consistent. He's just playing, and I really feel like he gets up to the Aki, and he's just playing darts. It's like he's at home just throwing the dart. He's not getting rattled. There's no real mental issues going on there. It's almost like it's a blank slate if you look at how he's throwing. And I know everybody bugs him about the counting issue, but I think that's part of it. He's like, he's thinking maybe 2, 3, 4 moves down the road. He's not thinking of where he's at. That's just when I watch him play, it's almost like a chess player who's like, I'm 4 steps ahead and I'm going to throw this and that's going to get me there. But then he won't throw that. And then he's like, oh, I got to think again. That's kind of how I see him. He's getting much better on the counting situation, which we all know. We've seen it. And he has some issues there. But he doesn't care who he's playing. Bottom line. Michael Smith cares about winning right now. He cares about showing up. There's a lot of stuff mentally going on. Jose, it's just not there, which makes him a better player. So we'll see. Good morning. Did you see Darts Referees Discord server that came from Donald Murray? Yes, I saw that he's got one. That's all I can say. Yeah. Yes, and Dave, you are correct. Lately he's been so far ahead with his scoring because he's been playing well, and I'm assuming you're talking about De Sosa. that making a hiccup is okay, and you don't know what he's going to do. Like, if you're playing him, we don't know. He might be counting in a way that is totally different than the rest of us because he's trying to do something because it's working for him. Remember, he's winning. He's won a couple of really good tournaments. He's won, consistently. He's playing consistent. He's getting deep into tournaments consistently. It's happening for him. So will it continue? Will we see this for 3 or 4 years? We don't know. The likelihood is that there's going to be a couple hiccups, and that's going to bring him down a little. Will he be able to bounce back from that? That's the big thing. And that's where Michael Smith is right now. He played well. He got knocked down. Can he come back and fight this out? So Jason Watt says he is the most dangerous player on tour. And I completely agree with you. And the reason, in my opinion, for that is because he's playing his game. He's not playing anybody else's game. And he's just playing. He's having a good time. He's not worried about anything else. And I am horribly blanking on the player that I would refer him or put him next to from a mental standpoint who has had some hiccups, but I think there were some personal things in there as well. And now I've got to find who I'm referring to because it's driving me nuts. So I'm looking. I apologize, guys. Kind of like Gabriel Clemens, but that's not where I'm going with it. Now I'm looking at a bunch of the darts players. I'm like, hey, look, there's Ricky Evans. He's one of my favorite fun ones to watch. Why? Yeah, kind of like Adrian Lewis, but Adrian Lewis got really, he's definitely, Menser. Okay, there we go. Sorry. Really, Menser's ranked 21 right now? Wow. But I would put Jose de Sosa on the level of a Menser, Solovic, in regards to, I don't know why I couldn't remember that, the Gentle Giant. I would put him there just when Menser was hot a couple years ago and doing really well and winning tournaments, he just played. He just was playing darts. And then things changed for him. He had some success. And I think all of that played. And I know there were some family issues and some other things for him. Joe Cullen is the most dangerous player. I'm sorry, I may be out of because I'm just reading this stuff. Is that where you were at, Jason Watt? Joe Cullen? He's not going to go that far. I'm sorry, man. Just not going to happen. He's a good player, but I think he's done round 2. Sorry. Jose, in my opinion, is a lot like Menser in that he just gets up and plays, has fun with it, and does it. The thing is going to be when he slips and he falls, how quickly can you bounce back? Those are some of the determining factors with darts players or sports in general and life in general. But it's interesting to see the darts players that do well fall and come back. Gary Anderson is one of those. Gary Anderson, of course, 2-time world champion back-to-back, has had some hiccups in his career. He will slip, but he will come back, and he will play well. Mental issues. He's going through some things. Yes. Are we talking Joe Cullen again, Jason Watt, or are we talking about the Gentle Giant himself? But not. I don't think Joe Cullen's having any mental issues. I think we're on the same page there. Sorry. But the machine himself, we've seen him falter and come back. So we will see, that's one of the things that I love about him, James Wade, and his ability. Well, one, we know that he does have some side things that go on in his life. I don't know the best way to put it in regards to how he deals with some of the situations that he does on a daily basis. I guess that's a better way to put it. I don't want to call him handicaps, mental issues, or anything like that, because they're really not. They are if you let them, and he does not. But James Wade, of course, just his ability to be very consistent, even when he falls, he comes back. And that's one of the things that I like about him and how good a player he is. There's this guy that won, 16 world championships that kind of dealt with it all the same way. He would falter a little and come back. And that's one of the things that I really like about certain darts players is their ability to do that. But Jason Watt says, you cannot let Jose get ahead of you. Only way to beat him is to get ahead early and make him think. Totally agree with you. Completely agree with you. If Jose gets ahead, he just plays darts, man. He's just there. He's like standing in his garage throwing at the dartboard. If you get ahead of him and he has to try and maneuver around you or create something to offset you, that's his Achilles heel. Can Michael Smith come out and get ahead of him? He certainly can. He can also get way behind him. And I don't think Michael Smith these days has that ability mentally to push forward and find that extra gear. MVG's having some struggles with that as well. Rob Cross has always had some struggles with that. But I think he's finding that gear this year. It's starting to come. Peter Wright has that gear, has that ability. Joe Cullen, we've seen him do it. Will he be able to pull that off? I don't think so. That's just my opinion. Cullen has some hair problems. Should shave his head. No, Dave. He needs to go see Peter Wright's wife and get his hair done properly. That would be interesting, wouldn't it? I don't know. I think that'd be awesome. All right, guys. There we go. In regards to World Match Play, we've talked about it. Would love to know who you guys think is going to win, especially out of the Iceman and the Ferret today. I'm going to say Iceman pulls this one off, but it's going to be close. That may have just been the kiss of death for him, but I think Iceman pulls it off. And if Bullseyes and Brewskis wants to bet on that for facial hair, maybe we could do that. I don't know. We need to certainly come up with something. If you did not know, Roy from Bullseyes and Brewskis had a little bet in regards to the World Championship with some Dave. Was it Dave Chisnell against Daryl Gurney? Whatever. Gurney lost, and Roy had to wear a dress. Go find that. It's on YouTube. He looks pretty good. It's a nice black one. His legs looked pretty smoking hot in that. But Devin Hunter says Gerwin. I think Gerwin pulls this one off, but I think it's going to be a close one. No, sir, from Roy. No bets there. Hey, let's dive into some of this stuff. I want to show this stuff off to you guys real quick before we end the day. I said I would, and reviews are coming on this. And I know there have been requests for some of the other stuff that I showed that were reviews. They've been started. I just shoot them in pieces. We went camping last weekend. By the way, those who are still hanging in here, which I appreciate you guys hanging in, there will be no show next week just because Justin Sanders never joins us until now. Hey, Justin, what's going on, man? That's a joke. No show next week. The family and I are going to be gone all week long, and I'm not going to have the ability to put the show on. I'll have internet access, but not the ability to put the show on. Iceman versus Super Chin, and yes, you remember. Okay, so it was Iceman, Super Chin, and Roy remembers. So again, next Tuesday, no show next week. We're dark. Then we come back with episode 99 and then episode 100, which I have not figured out what I'm going to do. But because it's episode 100, we got to do something fun. So we'll figure that out. But so next week, I will be dark. No show. But let's look at some of the stuff. Here is the Triple Z, which is the Neils. You guys can see this box. And again, Shot will probably call me and say, what are you doing, Matt, showing that stuff off? But that is it. This stuff drops in 2 days. I do have the 23-gram steel tip. These things are pretty sweet, man. These boxes, the artwork, pretty phenomenal stuff, man. Wow. The turquoise in this is just, I love the colorations in here. Wow. But see if this will focus in off of me and on this. See that? It's got some really nice cuts up in there. Just the machining is so incredible. I love what Shot does. It's really good looking stuff. So there's that. This is the new Warrior. So they've had a couple of different rounds of the Warrior, and this is the Ratoon Lieutenant, which again, really cool looking. Justin says, sorry, bro, I'm working. No worries, man. Come on. These, I like the, just, I mean, you're going to have to see these in person because these have the tattooing on them. Wow. I really like this. Oh my gosh. It's the first time I've taken these out of the box, but wow. I want some of this in my next dart barrel. These have like a tattooing on them. I mean, really, you just can't. You're going to have to wait till the close-ups. This is phenomenal. Oh my gosh. That is a dart to definitely get just for the art. Again, art that we get to throw. There's this cool tattoo design on it. The grip looks phenomenal. The center section, the gripping, it's almost like it's got a little bit of concave, but it's really slight, and it just has these really incredible rings that they're not in-cut rings. They're, I don't know the best way to explain it. It's really kind of like a fish hook. This is beautiful. Love it. That is incredible. Then these new Vikings. So they've added to the Viking lineup. This is the Raven. And then, of course, Boris, who plays for them. When his dart comes out, that's technically part of the, because he is the Viking. So I believe they're adding his as kind of part of the Viking lineup. I believe that's correct. I may be wrong. But this Raven, look at the blue on this. Oh, my gosh. Look at the blue. That is just incredible. And again, great exile cuts, and they've got the little dimple marks in here. It's like they took some of the stuff from the Roman series that they did and put it in here. These are really cool. Oh my gosh, the grip is phenomenal. If you want grip, this is, oh my God, it's like I can't get it off my finger. I can pull it off. These are incredible. Wow. Oh my. I may not get as much work done today as I was hoping. Oh man, and the flights. Oh wow. These are awesome. Again, I'm sorry. I think, in my opinion, Shot does. I'm not sorry. You know what? Pretty much screw you all. Shot does some of the best work ever on dart barrels. I know people love Target and other Unicorn and other things. I'm putting Shot at the head of the class at these days. And it's not sponsorship-wise or any of the other thing relationship-wise, outside of the fact that the relationship-wise, they are a phenomenal company. The work and craftsmanship on these barrels are worth every stinking penny. These things are just incredible. When these drop, and I know I'm going to have close-up shots of them. You're going to see other reviewers out there with close-up shots. No matter what we do, it will not do any justice to physically seeing and feeling these things. Go find a shop that has them and go get your hands on these. These things are beautiful. I love my barrels. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely love my barrels. I love the setup and the throw on them. But from an artistic standpoint, these things are beautiful. And I can't wait to have some fun and throw them. And I may have to design a more expensive, crazy barrel that's got some of the tattooing like this guy has in it. Look at the box too. I mean, the box is just the artwork on the box. That's freaking awesome. It's just, they just do it all. I mean, they're doing it all really, really well. Very excited to see where they go. They're picking up some cool players. You guys have got to see these. They're awesome. So, guys, it's been fun. It's been a blast. That's episode 98. I'm your host, Matthew. Love talking darts. I'm a little bummed I'm not going to have a show for next week because World Matchplay will finish up and we could talk about that. But the following week, look for an interview. I've got a couple people in mind and I've got some other slated interviews coming in as well. So just keep an eye out on that. Look for reviews. It's been a month or so since I've put out a review. I've got a bunch that have been started and worked on, but I've got to get these shot ones done here because those drop in a couple of days and got to get those out. So look for a number of reviews coming over the next month, coming from me. And of course, check everybody else out. Please go take a look at all the other reviewers that out there that are getting stuff and doing things. And I'll probably send some more stuff to other guys to review. That's one of the things that I do with these things at this point. So keep an eye out on that. Look for the reviews on these products. But again, this stuff is beautiful coming from Shot. And as always, the jerseys are awesome. And interestingly enough, and I talked to Jen Mounts yesterday, so here's a little just ending tidbit as we end this show. She is, they're going to start designing jerseys for other sports. And she, if she's listening to this or catches the replay, she may call me and slap me, but that's okay. They're looking at doing some stuff for disc golf, which again is a hot sport these days. It is awesome. I used to work with a guy whose brother was a professional and was the U.S. Champion. And he played disc golf with his brother. His brother owns a disc golf course and store here in San Diego. And they used to play a couple times a week. And I just remember him always going, hey, I'm going to play golf on this day. I'm going to play golf. And I'm like, dude, you play a lot of golf. And you're not like gone for 6 hours. You know, you're like, what are you doing? Finally, I figured out that it was disc golf. And then, anyway. So look for that kind of stuff. Cornhole jerseys, totally available. Justin, talk to Jen. She's doing them. And pickleball. Pickleball's something in the works as well. If you're not familiar with pickleball, again, another great sport where jerseys come out great. So there you go. There's the show. Hopefully you guys liked it. Episode 98. Again, I'm your host, Matthew. Love hanging out, chatting darts with you guys. I'm excited about the match today. Again, let me know who you think wins it. And don't wait until after it's over. Come on. Put it in there now. You got a couple of hours before that match happens. So, again, I think the world number one pulls it off. I think this is a tournament that he does well in. Again, I really do think that Michael Smith, Jose de Sosa, that match, which is tomorrow, one of those two players, based on that, is going to propel them to the championship. Not to the winning it, but they're going to get to that final stage of this tournament. So, all right, guys, thanks again for watching. I will see you guys not next week, but the following week. So this is kind of the end of this month. See you guys next month. Thanks for watching.